Good evening, and welcome to Massachusetts Lawyers Weekly's annual Top Women of Law Award ceremony. We are delighted that you've joined us for this virtual event. Tonight, we will honor 51 top women of law and induct 6 former honorees into our Circle of Excellence. During the program, you will learn more about these accomplished leaders in our profession and the commitment to excellence that they embody. We encourage all of you to celebrate and engage socially with your fellow attendees as we recognize these inspiring women. We're ready to begin and hope you enjoy the program from the comfort of your homes and offices. And now, please give a warm virtual welcome to your host, Susan Bocamazzo, publisher of Massachusetts Lawyers Weekly.
Good evening and welcome. Normally, we would be celebrating our Top Women of Law honorees in a big ballroom at the Copley Marriott Hotel, but 2020 is anything but a normal year. So tonight, Mass Lawyers Weekly editor Henriette Campaign and I are joining you from our satellite studio here in Brookline, Massachusetts. And it is great to finally see Henriette again in person, albeit socially distanced, after not having seen her for 8 long months. Tonight, we are honoring 51 women as top women of law and inducting 6 women into our Circle of Excellence. Seeing the commitment to excellence that these women embody is part of what makes covering the law here in Massachusetts so rewarding. Each honoree we are celebrating tonight was selected from a highly competitive pool by a panel comprised of members of Lawyers Weekly's editorial department and members of the community. And as you will learn, these are lawyers who excel at their day jobs, but also devote time and effort to giving back and bettering our community. In addition to these honorees, we'll recognize our Leadership Scholarship recipient, a local law student who will soon be embarking on her own legal career. But first, it's important that we thank the sponsors of tonight's event, all of whom recognize how the ongoing pandemic has made it more important than ever to celebrate achievement in the legal profession. I want to offer a big, heartfelt thank you to our leadership sponsor, the Massachusetts Bar Association, our silver sponsors, Choate Hall & Stewart, Nutter, Mintz Levin, Morris & Mahoney, Peabody & Arnold, and Ropes & Gray. Our supporting sponsor, the Women's Bar Association, and our celebration sponsors, Anderson & Krieger, Ashcroft Law Group, Burns & Levinson, Morse, Murphy & King, McLean Middleton, Pierce Atwood, Robinson & Cole, and Sunstein. Thank you also to EMK Consulting Group for sponsoring our pre-event networking reception, Toast to Trailblazers. Our program tonight begins with this year's Leadership Scholarship recipient. We introduced this component several years ago and are pleased to again be able to provide a law student with a scholarship to help complete her legal education. I'd like to thank the Massachusetts Bar Association for again sponsoring this Leadership Scholarship and invite MBA President-elect Thomas Bond to the virtual podium to introduce this year's recipient.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tom Bond. I'm President-elect of the Massachusetts Bar Association. I want to applaud all of tonight's outstanding honorees at Top Women of the Law. It is really inspiring to see and learn about so many accomplished women lawyers from all over the Commonwealth. But especially, I want to congratulate my friend and fellow officer at the MBA, Grace Garcia, for her induction into the 2020 Circle of Excellence class. This is really a well-deserved recognition for Grace. I've had the pleasure and the honor of working alongside of Grace at the MBA for the past several years. And I know firsthand, Grace is really, truly a class act. And please, congratulations, Grace. We're also grateful today to Lawyers Weekly for providing this opportunity to celebrate the top women of the law. Like many of you in your own practices, the MBA has had to adapt to meet the challenges caused by this pandemic. For example, the MBA has continued to provide you with the latest updates from all the courts, and these are done on a daily basis. We provided you with online CLE programs, and we provided you with dial-a-lawyer hotlines. In addition, and perhaps most importantly, we've continued to work with the courts, with the legislature, and with the governor's office to find new ways to help you in your practice. See for yourself. Go to www www.massbar.org. So on behalf of the MBA, it's now my pleasure to announce this year's Leadership Scholarship. The MBA has a long history of supporting legal education in the Commonwealth, including our CLEs, which we offer free to our members, and our Leadership Academy, where we teach and train the next generation of leaders. This is why our annual sponsorship of the Leadership Scholarship at Top Women of the Law is such a natural fit for us. This year's recipient is Kimberly Flores, a 2L at Boston University School of Law. The first member of her family to graduate from college, Kimberly says her path to law school began when she watched her family navigate the immigration and criminal justice systems, and it continued throughout her first career with Teach for America. I wanted to be in a position to help people navigate the complex systems in this country, she says. A public interest scholar, Kimberly serves as the 2L editor of the American Journal of Law and Medicine and as vice president of her school's Women of Color Collaborative. Active in pro bono, she has volunteered with the Central West Justice Center, the Immigrant Refugee Assistance Project, and Kids in Need of Defense. So please join me in congratulating Kimberly Flores.
Hi, thank you so much. I just want to start by saying that I am incredibly honored to be the recipient of the Massachusetts Lawyers Weekly's Leadership Scholarship. I am particularly appreciative of the Massachusetts Bar Association for sponsoring the scholarship. Thank you so much for your generosity and continued commitment to supporting women in their legal careers. Second, I want to thank the people at Massachusetts Lawyers Weekly for selecting me as the recipient of this award. Growing up in a less privileged community has not only offered financial and academic challenges, but has also helped me acknowledge the incredible privilege it is to pursue a legal education in the first place. I hope to use this position of privilege to continue serving my community and pay it forward. Once again, thank you for your support with my law school journey. I am committed to my education and to the legal field, and one step closer to becoming an attorney, thanks to your generosity. Thank you.
It is now my great pleasure to introduce tonight's featured speaker, Kimberly Atkins. Kim is currently a senior opinion writer at the Boston Globe and MSNBC contributor. She has appeared as a political commentator on a host of national and international television and radio networks, including CNN, Fox News, NBC News, PBS, and NPR, as well as guest host of C-SPAN's morning call-in show, Washington Journal. Kim is a graduate of Wayne State University, Boston University School of Law, Boston University College of Communication, and the Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism. And last, but certainly not least, we had the pleasure of working with Kim when she served as the Supreme Court reporter for Massachusetts Lawyers Weekly and its sister publications. Please welcome her to the virtual podium.
Thank you so much, Susan. It's an honor to speak at this event honoring top women of law, and it's a special treat for me as a retired member of the Massachusetts Bar and also as an alum of Massachusetts Lawyers Weekly, where I worked for years here in Washington, D.C., covering the U.S. Supreme Court. And it's also an honor to do it in a year where we have been celebrating and reflecting upon the legacy of the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's a pioneer of women's equality and women's rights. And so I want to start off by talking a little bit about her. I'm lucky because at my time at Lawyers Weekly covering the court, it gave me a front row seat to the notorious RBG era of Ginsburg's tenure on the court. On April 18th, 2007, I covered my first oral argument for Lawyers Weekly. I have no idea what the case was about that I covered. But what I do remember is the decision that the court handed down that day. The court decided 5-4 in Gonzalez v. Carhart that they would uphold the federal ban on the so-called partial birth abortion, a ban that did not include an exception to protect the health of women. And that time, remember, Justice Ginsburg was the only woman on the court. And what she did was she gave a scathing dissent from the bench. She noted that the only thing that had changed since the court decided Roe v. Wade and Casey is the makeup of the court and not the Constitution. The decision, she said, cannot be understood as anything other than an effort to chip away at a right declared again and again by this court and with increasing comprehension of its centrality to women's life. What is noteworthy is she hadn't given a bench dissent in years, and she certainly had never given one so fiery and on an issue that was so crucially important for women. But she did it again, just 1 month later, announcing from the bench her dissent in the Lilly Ledbetter case. She decried the ruling that stripped women of the ability to bring wage discrimination claims if they were not discovered within 6 months of the unequal paycheck being issued. Now, you know, most of the time when there is unfair pay, women don't know that. They often don't know it till long after they leave their jobs. And Justice Ginsburg didn't just dissent from the bench. She called on Congress to change the law. And the very first piece of legislation signed into law by President Obama was the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act. And Justice Ginsburg played such a crucial role in that. You know, in her dissents, and she was often in dissents, she wielded her power from the bench in ways that protected the rights of women. And of course, Ginsburg's loss was palpable to just about everyone in the legal community. And of course, the court looks very different now than it did the day of that Carhart decision. There are 3 women on the bench now, 2 appointed by President Obama, and the latest, Justice Amy Coney Barrett, appointed by President Trump. And the number of cases affecting women are already before the court, or they're making their way there. There are a number of cases that will affect women's rights. I think the biggest is probably the latest challenge to the Affordable Care Act, the latest in a long string of challenges to the Affordable Care Act, and it probably won't be the last challenge. But that could affect everything from no-cost contraception coverage to maternal health care. But, you know, I think there's a lot more happening. And I personally think this is an exciting time for women in the law. One of the things as a reporter, I don't think gets enough coverage right now and enough attention, and it would fall right into the legacy of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, is the movement that is happening in workplaces across the country as a result of the Me Too movement. Right now, employment managers and their lawyers are really reevaluating their workplaces, everything from workplace culture to hiring practices, and evaluating what role they have to play to ensure that there is equality in hiring, and equality in the way they do their jobs. And as litigators and in-house and corporate and business attorneys, you are all playing such a key role as these workplaces reevaluate their spaces and their workforces and make sure that their workplaces represent the communities and provide equal opportunity. We are in a pandemic. We are at a time of a lot of change, and there's still a lot that we don't know about how all of this will shake out. But I think we can be confident that 2021 will be a consequential year and that the work of women in the law will be crucial in all of those areas. I look forward to covering that work that all of you will be doing in these areas. And I offer congratulations to all of the honorees.
Thank you, Kim. This year, 6 new members will be joining the Circle of Excellence, which recognizes the leaders of our profession. All have been previously honored as top women, but we felt their continuing achievements and contributions to the profession demanded additional recognition. I'm going to turn the program over to Henriette to introduce the first honoree. So Henriette, take it away.
Thanks, Susan. It's great to be here with you tonight. Betty Francisco's legal career is long and varied. In addition to practicing law, both at a large law firm and as in-house counsel, she is an entrepreneur, an angel investor, and a business executive. Currently, she's general counsel at Compass Working Capital, a nonprofit that provides financial coaching and asset-building programs for low-income families. The role has been an amazing opportunity to do a lot of awesome things, she says. Betty is a staunch advocate of creating advancement opportunities for women and people of color across all professions, and a founder of both the Latina Circle and Amplify Latinx, whose mission is to increase Latino economic and political power in Massachusetts. Last month, we asked Betty, what makes you say to yourself, this is why I became a lawyer?
I became a lawyer originally because I wanted to help people improve their lives. So I thought that law could be an avenue to change policy, to change the trajectory of individuals' lives and communities that have not always been as equitable as others. And I actually started to think about law school originally because I wanted to be an immigration lawyer. I thought that by both practicing immigration law, but also trying to change immigration policy, that I could create a different environment for immigrant communities. That said, when I got to law school, I had the opportunity to do a JD MBA, to actually be in the intersection of business and law. And what I realized was that the ability to support a business, to start from its growth stage or startup stage all the way to growth, was a way to contribute to changing communities in a very different way. Having become a lawyer and why I became a lawyer changed over time, but it was still around this idea that law can play a role in changing communities, both through a policy and advocacy perspective, but also by supporting individual players, individual stakeholders, companies that are living their values.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Regina Hurley, a partner at Verrill and a 2019 inductee into the Circle of Excellence, to begin the presentation of this year's awards.
Wonderful to see everybody here virtually. And now to our next honoree. Nancy Adams of Mintz started her career as an assistant district attorney prosecuting domestic violence and sexual abuse cases. Nancy says her prior work with domestic violence and sexual abuse cases informs the work she does today, handling insurance coverage cases arising out of sexual abuse claims in schools, sports organizations, and the Catholic Church. I've prosecuted the perpetrators, and now, in some ways, I've come full circle. My cases still involve abuse, but from a very different perspective. Recently named co-chair of her firm's insurance practice group, Nancy sits on the board of the Plus Foundation and is a fellow of the American Bar Foundation. Congratulations to Nancy Adams. Marianne Ajamian was the first female real estate partner at Nutter and the first woman to serve on its executive committee. She's now the first woman to chair the real estate department. Marianne has spearheaded a range of large real estate transactions, most recently representing developers of a marquee mixed-use project in Boston Seaport District. The completed project will feature a 12-story, 300-unit apartment building, a hotel, an office, and retail space. We had to get the project over the finish line while dealing with the pandemic, but it opened on time. Congratulations to Marianne Ajamian.
A legacy of strong female leaders has been an enormous driver of our firm's progress and success. Marianne, you have been a leader in our firm, in the practice of law, in the real estate industry for many years. On behalf of the Nutter team, we congratulate you on this recognition and honor. I am proud to have you as my partner and my friend.
I am pleased to join with all of you and my Nutter colleagues in celebrating Marianne's achievements and contributions. I first met Marianne when she was a fellow Homestart board member and learned of her compassionate and giving nature. She acts what she speaks. I have learned since becoming Marianne's legal colleague at Nutter of the breadth and depth of her legal experience and expertise. She is able to deliver the highest level of client-centric service by appreciating the contributions of all, especially the non-lawyers. Marianne is very practical and knows how to make a project or financing come together, often using her wry sense of humor. She's also been a convener, collaborator, and mentor to a number of women of all ages and professional disciplines, which is an incredible contribution.
I'm so pleased to welcome and congratulate Marianne for this honor. I've been a colleague of Marianne's for many years, and I'm constantly amazed at her ability to handle incredibly complex issues efficiently and elegantly. Whether it's one large project or properties spread across the country, Marianne handles them all incredibly well. She's also a leader in all senses of the word. She leads by example, through her organizational skills, and by maintaining her high principles and standards throughout.
Marianne, ever since you came to Nutter over 30 years ago, I knew that you were a special breed of lawyer. You're highly immersed in your projects and are extremely responsive to your clients. Your high-touch approach informs your actions and your decisions. You're very collaborative, both internally and externally, which produces excellent results. It has been an honor to have you as my partner.
Mary Ann adheres to the very highest standards. She brings excellence to everything she does. She brings a long-term vision to her relationships with clients and colleagues and to the profession. She exemplifies our value-oriented cultures and delivers the complete Nutter experience. Congratulations, Mary Ann. You are amazing.
Kendra Berardi of Robinson & Cole loves real estate litigation because of its human aspect. There's something fundamental about the way people feel about property ownership, she says. Kendra has distinguished herself in the legal community by taking an active leadership role in the Real Estate Bar Association, co-founding its new lawyer section before serving on its board of directors and executive committee. REBA asked her to co-create the section because it recognized that younger attorneys weren't getting involved. Her efforts have paid off, with former chairs now chairing 4 of REBA's substantive law sections. Congratulations to Kendra Berardi. For 25 years, Inga Bernstein of Zalkin, Duncan, and Bernstein has distinguished herself as one of Boston's leading employment, civil rights, and criminal defense attorneys. Her work has been fueled by her desire to seek justice and full participation in society for people from all walks of life. I enjoy fighting for people who don't always have a voice. Inga is a member of the Criminal Justice Act panel, has served as appointed counsel through CPCS, and has long been a referral attorney for GLAD. Congratulations to Inga Bernstein. As a young girl, Shahryar Boston watched her parents struggle, but she also saw them scrape together enough to buy their first home and then several investment properties. This led to a passion for housing issues, particularly as they affect minority communities. Now a successful solo with a focus on residential real estate conveyancing and landlord-tenant law, Shahryar takes pride in helping clients achieve their dream of home ownership. Outside of work, Shahryar serves as treasurer of the Massachusetts Black Women Attorneys. I believe in lifting as you climb, says Shahryar. Congratulations to Shahryar Boston. Elise Busney of Pinkham Busney has spent 25 years helping workers navigate situations that threaten their livelihoods while counseling employers through situations that could bring down the company. Back in 2013, this work led to an important legal development when Elise convinced a Superior Court judge and the appeals court that non-resident employees are protected by Massachusetts wage laws. The importance of that decision has become clear in the age of COVID, says Elise. In our current economy, it's critical to know that if you work for a Massachusetts-based employer, you're protected. Congratulations to Elise Busney. Heather Cahill of Burns & Levinson gravitated toward trusts and estate work after a handwritten will led to serious inter-family conflict. One current case could have serious ramifications. Despite an SJC ruling that a beneficiary's interest in an irrevocable family trust cannot be split at divorce, the appeals court recently held that if an individual is both a beneficiary and a trustee, her interest can be deemed a marital asset in the context of divorce. If the decision stands, it could be devastating for estate planners and their families, Heather says. Outside of work, Heather was recently elected to the Boston Probate and Estate Planning Forum. Congratulations to Heather Cahill. Eugenia Karras is an assistant United States attorney in the Public Corruption Unit, where she brings justice to people who have violated the public trust, including corrupt law enforcement officers who've threatened citizens, officials who've taken advantage of immigrants, people attempting to commit voter fraud, and big dig contractors bilking the public. A recent prosecution of clerks and vendors at the Registry of Motor Vehicles for producing and selling false ID documents not only led to a half a dozen convictions, it also identified systemic weaknesses at the Registry of Motor Vehicles for the state to address. That's an important and perhaps overlooked role for the kinds of cases we do, Jeannie says. Congratulations to Jeannie Karras. Gina Cash has seen how easily injustice can occur when relevant circumstances aren't considered. She uses that knowledge in her role as director of the Bureau of Special Investigations in the Office of the State Auditor, where she oversees efforts to address public benefits fraud. Where historically the Bureau had had a practice of prosecuting all cases, Gina instituted a policy of interviewing each violator to better understand the circumstances fueling the alleged fraud. The personal story won't necessarily absolve someone of fraud, but it puts them in the light of more than someone out to game the system, says Gina. Congratulations to Gina Cash. Morgan Lewis and Bacchius Laurie Cervini credits her upbringing in a blue-collar family for her success as a corporate transactions lawyer. Because of my background, I focus on hard work, empathy, and what others are going through and how I can help them get through it, she says. She relied on those strengths in representing Iron Mountain in a $1.34 billion acquisition 2 years ago. Active in pro bono, Laurie does work for Partners in Health and led a matter under President Obama's Clemency Project that resulted in the release of a disabled man who had been incarcerated for over 30 years for a drug offense. Congratulations to Laurie Cervini. I'm now going to turn the program over to Susan.
Our next Circle of Excellence honoree is Grace Garcia of Morrison Mahoney. Grace has spent more than 20 years defending individuals and entities in civil litigation. I really love thinking through how I'm going to present a defense from the beginning of the case to handing it over to the jury, Grace says. She is a former president of the Massachusetts Defense Lawyers Association, recently began her term as vice president of the MBA, serves on the MBA's COVID-19 task force, and co-chairs the Wellbeing Committee. Through her work with the MBA, she organized the 2019 MBA Law Day, partnering 34 schools and educational programs with Massachusetts attorneys to discuss the topic of free speech. When we spoke with Grace last month, we asked her, with COVID-19 forcing people to work from home, what effect has this had on work-life balance?
I've always found work-life balance to be a very tough term. It's so difficult to find balance. And I think that the pandemic has had some pluses and minuses. I definitely always see that cup as half full as opposed to half empty. And I think there's a lot of good of it. I mean, I can give my children a kiss every morning. And normally before the pandemic, I was long gone of the house before they woke up. There's some obvious ones, lower dry cleaning bills, less commute. But I think it's taught us how to be more flexible. I think it has really humanized people, whether they hear dogs barking, kids in the background. For me, it's given me the opportunity to have my kids see what I do. I had a deposition last week and I didn't realize it, but, my daughter asked me later on in the day, why were you grilling that woman? or they also can hear the signs of respect. We have now court hearings on Zoom and they can hear me say, Your Honor. And, but they also can think that all I do all day is emails and conference calls. So, but I think from a perspective of, work-life family balance, it's given that sort of balance. And, for me, it's really, I think, given my kids an opportunity for me to be here. But on the downside, the work is always here. There's no real separation. I think it's very difficult for those who may have very young children, whether it's daycare, childcare issues, helping them with remote school issues. So, there's definitely the pluses and minuses.
Congratulations, Grace, on your well-deserved honor. I am fortunate to work with you. Grace's dedication and service to the bar and legal profession is shown through her tireless leadership at the Massachusetts Bar Association that benefits both attorneys and the community at large.
Congratulations, Grace, on your honor. You're the hardest working attorney I know. Your dedication to our clients is second to none. Congratulations.
Grace, your commitment to mentoring and being a role model is truly invaluable. You constantly strive to ensure that less experienced attorneys are supported and in the best position to succeed in their career. Congratulations, Grace.
Grace, thank you for your tireless work for Morrison Mahoney and our work group, including your service on multiple firm committees and as the organizer and MC of our annual holiday party.
Grace, on behalf of your partners and almost 400 colleagues at Morrison Mahoney, we celebrate you on this well-deserved honor. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Grace. I respect and admire your strength, your intelligence, and your compassion. You so deserve this. Congratulations.
Please welcome Jennifer Levi of GLAD, a 2019 inductee into the Circle of Excellence, to the virtual podium to continue the presentation of this year's awards.
Thank you, Susan and Mass Lawyers Weekly. It's my pleasure to introduce our next set of honorees. Moving from Hong Kong to Canada as a child, and then to the US as a young adult, has helped Yvonne Chan of Goodwin learn how to see multiple perspectives. That skill has served her well in her practice, representing institutions of higher learning and white-collar defendants. She says criminal defense work adds another layer to the pleasure of getting a win for a client because you know this means someone gets to have their father at their wedding or be there for the birth of their first child. Active in the BBA, Yvonne is a board member of the Massachusetts chapter of the Federal Bar Association. Congratulations to Yvonne Chan. In her work as co-chair of the Life Sciences Group at Foley Hoag, Hemi Chang represents major players in the biopharma and medical device spaces, handling IP licensing matters, development and marketing deals, and closing more than $12 billion in transactions over 2 decades. She's particularly proud of her recent representation of Dicerna Pharmaceuticals, which uses RNA interference, or RNAi, techniques to target serious disease in a major deal with Eli Lilly. Outside the office, Hemi is a co-founder of the Asian American Lawyers Association of Massachusetts and a leader in the Asian American Bar. Congratulations to Hemi Chang. Gabrielle Clemens of RBC Wealth Management no longer practices family law, but as a wealth advisor with a niche in financial counseling for people going through divorce, she's a key resource to the family law bar. She says it's rewarding to help clients demystify their relationship with money and, quote, make sure the decisions they're making throughout the divorce process will work for them in their post-divorce life, end quote. Outside of work, Gabrielle is on the board of the Women's Association of Financial Advisors and is involved with the Jordan Porco Foundation, which works to combat teen suicide. Congratulations to Gabrielle Clemens. Government relations has traditionally been a male preserve, but that hasn't stopped Jennifer Crawford from becoming a leader in the field. First, as a committee counsel in the legislature, and now as the co-founder of one of Boston's leading public policy law firms, Smith, Costello, and Crawford. Jennifer currently leads her firm's cannabis licensing team and reportedly has helped more applicants obtain medical and recreational licenses than any other Massachusetts attorney. Outside of work, Jennifer runs the Boston chapter of New England Women in Energy and the Environment. Congratulations to Jennifer Crawford. Kathleen Cruikshank of Murphy & King focuses her practice on consumer and commercial bankruptcy. She's the new co-chair of the BBA's bankruptcy section and also serves as a member of the section's standing pro bono COVID-19 response committee. The section has created free training sessions for lawyers without bankruptcy experience and pairs those lawyers with veteran attorneys on pro bono cases. Kathleen is on the board of the International Women's Insolvency and Restructuring Confederation, sits on the local rules committee of the U.S. Bankruptcy Court, and has been a big sister for 13 years. Congratulations to Kathleen Cruikshank. Danger Law's Deborah Danger runs her own family law, estate planning, and asset protection firm, with a focus on representing underserved communities. Understanding that many prospective clients have a limited ability to pay, she'll identify interesting cases and discount or waive the fee. Most recently, a call from 2 teachers with small kids and a pressing need for estate and guardianship plans inspired her to offer a discount to any teacher or paraprofessional in the same boat. They should have one less thing to fear, and I can make that happen, she says. Congratulations to Deborah Danger. Paula Devereaux of Pierce Atwood was exposed to real estate law in her first job out of law school and realized how much she loved handling transactions. In the years since, she has fostered landscape shifting development deals while engaging in critical advocacy at the legislature. Through her involvement in NAIOP, Paula played a key role in getting a legal quirk that severely hampered development in and around Boston addressed, doing the heavy lifting to create a legislative fix on a pro bono basis. Outside of the office, Paula recently finished a term as president of the Real Estate Bar Association. Congratulations to Paula Devereaux. Maria Durant, the managing partner of Hogan Lovells Boston office, focuses her practice on shepherding her life sciences and healthcare clients through sensitive government investigations and prosecutions and handling high-stakes bet-the-company litigation. Most recently, Maria defended a medical device manufacturer against more than 11,000 product liability cases brought against it in a multi-district litigation. Maria is a member of the BBA Council, the association's governing body, founding member of the Women in White Collar Defense Association, and on the emeritus board of the WBF. Congratulations to Maria Durant. Allison Eggers of Seyfarth Shaw is a leading franchising litigator with a unique niche representing auto manufacturers in disputes with dealerships. She says the work is particularly satisfying because I can tangibly see my contribution. I can see a vehicle on the road and feel some connection to that. Outside the office, she's proud to be the longest serving volunteer for the Boston Debate League and sits on the organization's board. Debate was life-changing for me, she says. My goal is to ensure other students have the opportunity to experience the truly transformative effects of debate. Congratulations to Allison Eggers. April English is the Chief of Organization Development and Diversity at the AG's office. In that role, she has implemented trainings on unconscious bias and racial inequities, led office-wide conversations about race, and made awareness of these issues a part of the recruiting process. Diversity is particularly critical at the AG's office, she says, because communities of color and immigrant communities need to feel comfortable with us helping them. Past recipient of the LGBTQ and Mass Bar Association's Community Service Award, April served on a subcommittee of the SJC's Steering Committee on Lawyer Wellbeing. Congratulations to April English. And now I'm going to turn the podium back to Henriette.
Our next Circle of Excellence inductee is Joan Lukey. Joan's varied litigation career includes representation of both plaintiffs and defendants in complex business disputes with clients ranging from individuals to major corporations. Now at Choate Hall & Stewart, where she chairs the firm's complex trial and appellate litigation group, Joan says that closing arguments are her favorite part of the job. You are totally exhausted, having gotten at most 3 hours of sleep over the course of several weeks, and you should be a basket case. But the adrenaline kicks in, and it is the best feeling, she says. Joan's list of accomplishments includes being the first woman elected president of the American College of Trial Lawyers and a past president of the BBA. Last month, we sat down with Joan and asked her, compared with when you started, how is the profession different for women who are entering it today?
Obviously, when I started in the practice of law back in the 1970s, we didn't have the critical mass that women lawyers enjoy today when they join the workforce. So I'd say things are a lot better in terms of feeling like you're actually a part of a profession now, as opposed to struggling to be a part of a new wave into a profession way back then. I think we're roughly 80% of the way to a truly level playing field. I believe that the court system was probably the earliest in achieving equality for women coming in, and that a lot of that started with Sandra Day O'Connor, who became a Supreme Court justice back in the mid-70s. And then the next wave, I would say, is academia. Law firms, I think, were next. They work at it very hard. At least in this part of the country, I think the last bastion and the area that's still tough for women in the law is persuading large corporate clients to hire a woman as opposed to the traditionally safe approach of hiring a white male. So we're getting better, certainly than we used to be, but there's still a distance to travel.
Joan, congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. You have been a trailblazer and one of the most successful trial lawyers in Boston throughout your distinguished career. When I think of you, 3 words immediately come to mind: passionate, fearless, and exceptional. These attributes, of course, are what make you a remarkably talented advocate. So, as always, thank you for everything you do for Choate and our community and for serving as a role model for so many. Congratulations again on this award, Joan, and I wish we could be celebrating in person.
Joan, congratulations on receiving this great award. Your friends and colleagues at Choate Hall know you as a wonderful partner, a nationally recognized trial and appellate lawyer, and a dedicated advocate. There is no one more committed than you, Joan. Congratulations again.
Congratulations, Mom, on your selection to the Circle of Excellence. I'm so proud of you for all that you've accomplished and for all that I know is still to come. I'm lucky to call you my mom.
What impresses me most over the years about Joan is how fierce an advocate she is for her clients. She is fearless. Her courage in the courtroom and outside of the courtroom to achieve the ends of her clients is unparalleled. And she has taught that to countless associates and partners who have worked with her on her cases. It has been a privilege to know her all these years.
Joan Lukey, brilliant trial lawyer, brilliant appellate lawyer. I've known Joan for 40 years. She's respected by opposing counsel, admired by her clients. Lawyers who work with her say nothing but positive things. She is just a wonderful mentor, a wonderful team player. Congratulations, Joan. Such a well-deserved honor.
Please welcome Andrea Kramer, founder of Kramer Law and a 2019 inductee into the Circle of Excellence, to the virtual podium to continue this year's awards.
Thank you, Henriette, for that introduction and for all you do at Lawyers Weekly. Before going to law school, Michelle Flores was a research chemist at Exxon. Now she's Associate General Counsel at Sumitomo Dainippon Pharma America, where she plays a key role in enforcing the company's patents and has closed more than $1 billion in lucrative licensing agreements, acquisitions, and commercial promotion agreements. Michelle, who is Mexican-American, knows well how rare it is to see a woman of color in the upper ranks of corporate legal departments. Outside of work, she is involved with both Corporate Counsel Women of Color and Mexican-American Legal Defense Fund. Congratulations to Michelle Flores. Over the course of her career, Ara Gershengorn has clerked for a federal appeals court judge, argued appeals for the U.S. Department of Justice, prosecuted fraud cases as an AUSA, and counseled private clients. But she says her current role as an attorney in Harvard University's General Counsel's Office lets her experience the best of all worlds. Recently, Ara served as lead counsel in Harvard's defense of its affirmative action admissions program. She says, "It was an incredible opportunity to be defending the consideration of race in admissions, not just for Harvard, but for higher education overall." Congratulations to Ara Gershengorn. Elizabeth Green of Myrick O'Connell comes from a family of attorneys and doctors. So it's no surprise that when she graduated from law school herself, the opportunity to represent physicians and other medical professionals seemed like a natural choice. She explains, "I care a lot about quality medical care and the physicians who are caring for all of us." Beyond her own practice, Elizabeth is a national leader in the medical law arena, chairing the Physicians' Issues Interest Group, a subcommittee of the ABA Health Law section. Congratulations to Elizabeth Green. When sole practitioner Holly Harney was working as a prosecutor after law school, she realized she was seeing only one side of the story. The occasional glimpses she saw of the other side motivated her to enter private practice as a defense attorney. In the decades since, she's built a robust criminal and family law practice, been repeatedly recognized by the Probate and Family Court for her pro bono efforts, and recently finished up a term as president of the Barnstable County Bar Association. Congratulations to Holly Harney. Megan Hurley is the managing attorney at Massachusetts Debt Relief Foundation, the state's first nonprofit law firm focusing on pro bono consumer bankruptcy work. In the decades since its establishment, MDRF, which Megan helped create, has filed nearly 300 cases, provided more than 1,000 free consultations, and helped discharge almost $10 million in consumer debt. In addition to overseeing the organization's caseload and working with the board of directors, Megan coordinates volunteer attorney coverage for clients across the state. Each of MDRF's cases has a human story behind it, she says. We really do change lives for the better. Congratulations to Megan Hurley. Faith Kasparian of Morse, Barnes, Brown, and Pendleton leads her firm's privacy and data security practice team and was one of the first attorneys in the nation to focus on this relatively new practice area. One of her most noteworthy accomplishments was her successful 2011 defense of an online advertiser against FTC charges relating to its tracking of consumers' online behavior. The case was the first to target an online behavioral advertiser and generated national attention. Faith's civic involvement includes pro bono work for First Parish in Lexington. Congratulations to Faith Kasparian. Alia Khalidi serves as a prosecutor and the director of hiring, training, and professional development in the Middlesex DA's office. In her director role, she works to create diversity, equity, and inclusion to better reflect the community, as well as to provide opportunities to correct blind spots in racial and cultural competency. I wanted to be a lawyer in the first place to increase diversity and the representation of different life experiences, she asserts. The immediate past president of the National Association of Muslim Lawyers, Alia mentors law students through the South Asian Bar Association of Greater Boston. Congratulations to my friend and Sister Wellesley alumna, Alia Khalidi. Over the last 25 years, Julie Korostoff of Mintz has been involved in some of Boston's most significant technology transactions, helping clients create and refine their businesses through technology development, licensing, and distribution. Julie also works to develop a firm culture that allows attorneys and staff to thrive and feel included, and she serves in a number of leadership roles, including the Corporate Partnership Elevation Committee and Women's Initiative Steering Committee. She is also a member of the pro bono team that advised Partners in Health on the launch of the Massachusetts COVID-19 Community Tracing Collaborative. Congratulations to Julie Korostoff.
Nancy and Julie, congratulations on being named by Mass Lawyers Weekly as 2020 Top Woman of Law. We at Mintz are very proud of you both and know close up how deserving you both are. Not only do you exemplify our values of collaboration and client service within the firm, but you are assets to the broader community as well. Enjoy the virtual gala, and hopefully it won't be too long before we can celebrate in person. Congratulations again to you and all the other deserving honorees.
Renee Landers, an early role model of mine, has accomplished much in her long career. She has worked in a large law firm and for the Departments of Justice and Health and Human Services before moving to academia, where she now serves as a professor at Suffolk University Law School. There, she teaches courses in healthcare, privacy, administrative, and constitutional law. And she serves as the faculty director of the Health and Biomedical Law Concentration and Masters of Science in Law Life Sciences program. The first African-American woman and first law professor to be president of the BBA, Renee says she gives her students this advice: you should use the knowledge and skills you've learned to make the world a better place. Congratulations to my friend and fellow advisory board member, Renee Landers. Solo practitioner Kiara LaPlume represents clients ranging from emotional first home purchasers starting on their American dream to real estate development companies that have redesigned the greater Boston skyline. What I love about my practice, she gushes, is that I'm in a position to see how I've positively impacted someone's life. Kiara is an active member of the Women's Bar Association and has co-chaired its Solo and Small Firm Committee and Business Development Committee. She is also a graduate of the WBA's Women's Leadership Initiative. Congratulations to my friend and sometimes attorney, Kiara LaPlume. And now I will send you back to Susan at the virtual podium.
The next inductee into the 2020 Circle of Excellence class is Paige Scott Reed of Prince Lobel Thai. Paige's transactional, litigation, regulatory, administrative, and procurement work has included roles as General Counsel for the Department of Transportation and the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, as well as serving as Corporate Secretary and General Counsel to Boston's Olympic bid. 2 years ago, she left the government for private practice, and currently much of her work focuses on the future of aeronautics. The immediate past president of the Massachusetts Black Lawyers Association, she is vice president for the Harvard Law School Association, a trustee of the BBF, and a member of the board of Boston Harbor Now. Last month, we asked Paige, what's the best piece of professional advice you ever received?
One of my great mentors of all time is a partner here at Prince Lobel Thai who has really helped me become the attorney that I am today. And when I was a much more junior lawyer, before sending me off into a stressful situation, he would always pull me aside and give me a little piece of advice that has really carried me forward to today. He would say in less polite terms, remember, we're here to give challenges, not take challenges. It would have needed to be bleeped out, but that's basically what he said. And that little piece of advice helped me own my power, helped me understand, particularly as an African-American woman, that I had every right to be in whatever stressful room I was in as much as all the other attorneys there, and that I had as much power as they did to determine whether things were going to go in the favor of my client or against them, and that I should own that moment and be me, be proud of where I was and confident that I belonged there.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Marcia Wagner, the founder of the Wagner Law Group and a 2019 inductee into the Circle of Excellence, to continue our presentation.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be here and have the high honor of introducing such wonderful and accomplished women. The law is Sharon Lincoln's fourth career. Before law school, she was an account executive for a high-tech startup, a high school history teacher, and a newspaper editor. Now a Kasner Edwards, she initially focused on tax law, but later expanded into corporate transactional work. Sharon is a founding member of the New England Women in Energy and serves on the BBA's tax-exempt organizations section steering committee and its drafting committee for Chapter 180B. She also sits on the ABA's State and Local Tax Executive Committee and chairs the SALT Subcommittee on Tax-Exempt Organizations. Sharon is a fellow tax law practitioner. Congratulations for this great honor. Rock Lord's Stephanie Macy co-chairs the firm's public finance practice group, serving as bond counsel and borrowers counsel to Massachusetts institutions, and works on financing for nonprofits. The niche practice can be challenging because many clients, especially nowadays, are on very tight budgets. But Stephanie appreciates that she can see what she has built with her labor. She has stated, "I can drive through a college campus and see dorms and dining halls I've worked to finance." An active member of the National Association of Bond Lawyers and Boston Women in Finance, she is also a fellow of the American College of Bond Counsel. Wow, very, very impressive. Congratulations to Stephanie Massey. Maureen McBrien of Brick, Jones, McBrien and Hickey focuses on family law with particular expertise in alimony and litigation that arises from surrogacy and assisted reproduction issues. Some of her cases created new law, including Real versus Voorhees, an appellate court ruling building and holding that marital lifestyle should not be considered when assessing whether a spouse should continue to receive alimony beyond the durational limit. Maureen is quite active in the ABA family law section, where she sits on the council, as well on the nominating committee, strategic planning committee, and publications board. Sincere congratulations to Maureen. Amanda Morrison of Ropes & Gray represents clients in large private equity and M&A transactions. In the last year alone, she handled several multi-billion-dollar matters. Now, co-head of the firm's private equity industry group, Amanda also serves as co-chair of the 600-member Global Women's Forum. She particularly values the opportunity to mentor associates. She states, "I am really proud of the work we've done, including professional development and grants for women attorneys, expanded networking opportunities and workshops, and a strong mentoring program. All of these things make a difference." You know what, Amanda? We all agree, and we all congratulate you for receiving this significant honor. Barbara O'Donnell of Sulloway and Hollis is well-versed in resolving defective construction, priority of coverage, and allocation disputes in jurisdictions throughout the Northeast. Barbara also counsels insurers and presents educational sessions for claims examiners to discuss claims handling obligations and effective ways to minimize exposure. She is a fellow of the American College of Coverage Counsel and active in the Federation of Defense and Corporate Counsel, having held leadership roles in the various sections and currently sitting on the admissions committee. Wow, that's a lot. Congratulations to Barbara O'Donnell. Karen O'Malley of Goulston & Stores balances a busy real estate practice with a strong commitment to pro bono work and activism. She currently co-chairs the firm's retail, restaurant, and consumer group and focuses her practice on retail and office leasing in complex mixed-use projects. Karen helped launch the Victims' Right Law Center in 2003 and continues to be deeply involved with the organization. Her other pro bono clients include organizations such as Physicians for Reproductive Health, Sociedad Latina, and affordable housing projects such as the Codman Square Neighborhood Development Corporation and others. Congratulations to Karen O'Malley. Lily Palacios Baldwin's work as Deputy General Counsel at Tufts University impacts the lives of both students and faculty, and her experience as an employment attorney, including 9 years at the EEOC, provides her with an important perspective. Active in the higher education community, Lily is co-chair of the Latino Affinity Group of the National Association of College and University Attorneys. the former co-chair of the college and university section of the BBA, and a member of the advisory board of the National Center for the Study of Collective Bargaining in Higher Education. Congratulations, Lily. Jennifer Parent of McLean Middleton has spent her career litigating and resolving disputes for companies and business owners in a range of complex commercial cases and employment matters in both Massachusetts and New Hampshire. The current chair of the litigation department, Jennifer is the immediate past president of the National Conference of Bar Presidents and the New England Bar Association, and was elected to the American College of Trial Lawyers in 2019. Outside of work, she serves as chair of the Board of Trustees for the Palace Theaters. Congratulations, Jennifer Parent. Regina Sampenti is a partner in the IP transaction group at Ropes & Gray. She says that the transactions have been challenging in the current market. She says, so to be able to power through and get some deals closed has been a great feeling. Regina's pro bono work focuses on issues that impact women, with clients including the Women's Sailing Foundation. She co-chairs the BBA's Internet and Technology Law Committee, is a member of the Boston IP American Inn of Court, and is a guest lecturer on patent law at the MIT Sloan School of Business. Congratulations, Regina Sampenti.
I'm Regina Sampenti, here with my fellow top women of law honoree, Amanda Morrison. I'm a partner in Ropes & Gray's Intellectual Property Transactions Group, and Amanda is an M&A and private equity partner at the firm. Thank you for honoring us, and congratulations to the great women lawyers who are here with us tonight.
We wanted to spend our 15 seconds of Lawyers Weekly fame to honor all the outstanding mentors out there. Great mentors are more important than ever before. With so many young women coming up the ranks, it is critical that they find good mentors so that they don't come up short, particularly as a result of remote work and missed in-person mentoring opportunities.
We'd like to encourage everyone to take 2 steps to keep young women lawyers moving forward. First, we ask you to pause and think about a young woman lawyer in your professional life. Call them and check in on them to see how they're doing. That individual support is important right now. And second, we ask you to think about one client that you can introduce to a fellow woman lawyer and follow through with that introduction. Especially in these times, it's really important that we show this kind of support to make sure that we're all moving forward together.
These simple gestures do make a huge difference, especially in this remote environment. We can't let the pandemic set back the great progress that women lawyers are making. Congratulations again to everyone at tonight's event. We hope you all stay healthy and safe until we can return to a more normal routine. Thank you.
After law school, Lizette Perez Deichbach clerked for a federal judge, spent several years at Goodwin before becoming a partner, and worked at an incubator, then joined Battery Ventures, where she is currently general counsel. A firm believer in paying it forward by providing mentorship, support, and sponsorship to young lawyers, particularly women and lawyers of color. She is a member in the WBA's Women's Leadership Initiative, serves on the advisory board of Founders Workbench, a resource for entrepreneurs and founders, and sits on the board of advisors of WGBH Corporation. Wow, amazing. Congratulations, Lizette. It is now my honor and privilege to turn the proceedings over to Henriette. Thank you.
Let's meet the next member of our Circle of Excellence. After deciding in law school that she would be an asylum attorney, Anita Sharma began work at the Political Asylum Immigration Representation Project, which provides free legal services to asylum seekers and promotes the rights of immigration detainees. 5 years ago, Anita took on the role of executive director with one condition: she could continue doing legal work. One matter that she remembers vividly was an intense domestic violence case that she worked on before domestic violence was an established ground for asylum. Seeing her client grow from feeling helpless to becoming empowered was incredibly rewarding. I am honored to get up every morning and have a job that is so meaningful, she says. Recently, we asked Anita, what is your proudest accomplishment as a lawyer?
I view every client win, especially within the complex and cruel immigration system, as an incredible accomplishment. Whenever I help a client gain humanitarian relief like asylum, it means that the client is safe and finally has a safe haven within the United States, can dream of rebuilding their lives. I can help them to, reunite with families who were left behind. I work with clients so that they can find meaningful employment and get their work permits, and then help them get their green card so they have a pathway to citizenship. And so I'm incredibly proud of the work that I do as an attorney with each and every client. But I have to say that I really feel proud of the work that I've done as an attorney and as the executive director of PAIR, in that in the past 4 years where we really have seen many terrible draconian changes within the immigration system, that I was able to step up and face these challenges and be there for PAIR clients and for immigrants across the state.
To conclude the presentation of our 2020 honorees for top women, here's MBA President Denise Murphy of Rubin and Rudman, a 2019 inductee into the Circle of Excellence.
Thank you so much, Lawyers Weekly, for allowing me to participate in bestowing this honor among these qualified and well-deserving women. I know how much this means to each and every one of them, and I want to thank you for allowing me to participate in this moment. For more than 30 years, Dimitra Potsiakos has represented individuals in family law matters ranging from divorce, support and property division to paternity, grandparent visitation, and guardianship issues. Dimitra, who is licensed in both Massachusetts and New Hampshire, worked at firms, Merrimack Valley Legal Services, and the Department of Revenue and Child Support Enforcement Division, before hanging out her own shingle. She's a fellow of the Massachusetts chapter of the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers and has been an active member of the board of directors of the Essex County Bar Association for 19 years. Congratulations to Dimitra Potsiakos. Scarlett Rabachin of Peabody & Arnold focuses her practice on insurance coverage disputes, general liability, and professional liability defense. Her greatest professional accomplishment was persuading the SJC that an insurer does not need to prosecute counterclaims on behalf of the insured as part of the duty to defend. I worked on that case from the beginning to the end, she says. If you asked me to sit down and write a brief from memory, I could do it. Active in bar membership, Scarlett's volunteer work includes a campaign to increase public school funding in the city of Melrose. Congratulations to Scarlett Rajbaji.
Congratulations, Scarlett, on this very well-deserved honor. You are such a fine example for everyone at our law firm, for the next generation of lawyers, and for your own daughter. Congratulations.
Hey, Scarlett, congratulations. It's great working with you on all the coverage cases, and I think it's well-deserved.
Hey, Scarlett, it's Lincoln. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. You're an amazing attorney. You're a great mentor. I don't know where I'd be without you, and you're a great friend as well. Congratulations.
Hey, Scarlett, congratulations. I wasn't surprised to learn that you'd won this honor. You are a great lawyer, a great friend to everyone at the firm, and I'm very proud to know you.
Scarlett, you are a wonderful lawyer, a wonderful colleague, and a wonderful friend. I am very proud of you, and I send my sincerest congratulations.
In her 15 years practicing law, Whitney Reichel of Fish & Richardson has developed experience litigating complex patent cases around the country, across a range of industries and involving a host of technologies. Every case presents a unique opportunity to interpret a patent claim relative to a product in a way that allows for creative thought and your own novel way to interpret the law, she says. Whitney is a member of CHIPS, has been involved with political asylum, immigration representation for more than 10 years, and represents transgender asylum seekers through immigration equality. Congratulations to Whitney Reichel. Jennifer Rymarski's civil litigation practice at Morrison Mahoney includes professional liability in the medical malpractice arena, healthcare law, and business matters. A big believer in women supporting other women, Jennifer is active in the firm's Women's Initiative Group. There needs to be more openness and willingness to throw the ladder down and also to push women up, she says. Jennifer served for several years on the board of Children's Study Home and chairs the Planned Giving Advisory Committee of the Ronald McDonald House, Springfield. Congratulations to Jennifer Bramarski.
Congratulations, Jennifer. Well deserved. You are truly one of the hardest working attorneys in our law firm. We love you. Congrats again.
Jennifer, congratulations on being a top woman of law and a top person overall. You are the go-to for any issue, big or small. Congratulations, well done.
Congratulations, Jennifer. I've been fortunate enough to know you since my law clerk days. Your dedication and passion to not only help others, but to mentor is truly unique and amazing. Congratulations.
Jennifer, you challenged me by your own exemplary work ethic, drive, intelligence, thoughtfulness, and respect, and encouraged my professional development and reaching beyond my job description. Thank you for everything and congratulations.
Jennifer, congratulations on such a well-deserved award. You're truly a role model for hard work, dedication, and service to our clients. Well done, and congratulations again.
Jennifer, congratulations on this well-deserved honor. We at Morrison Mahoney are all cognizant of your superior legal skills and your enthusiasm in representing your clients. Whether it's volunteering your time to raise money for the Ronald McDonald House, or being on the board of directors of the Children's Study Home, or mentoring law students at Western New England University School of Law, you do it with 100% effort and always achieve the best results. Congratulations again.
Payal Salzberg of Laredo and Smith moved to the U.S. by herself at the age of 17 to attend college and ended up in law school by happenstance. She focuses her practice on business litigation, corporate counseling, and white-collar criminal defense, and prides herself on providing one-stop shopping. Payal is extensively involved in bar leadership, serving as a board member of the South Asian Bar Association of Greater Boston and sitting on both the ethics and steering committees of the business and commercial litigation section of the BBA. Recently, she was appointed as a hearing officer for the BBO. Congratulations to Payal Salzberg. Mary Strother spent the first part of her 20 years at what is now WilmerHale as a litigator, then became Deputy General Counsel at the firm, providing risk management, ethical, and legal advice. In 2017, she took former colleague Maura Healy up on her offer to join the AG's office as first assistant. I love the drive and the passion that everybody who works here has for what they do, she says. She is a member of the Conviction Integrity Group, and I have the honor of working with her on the SJC Standing Committee on Lawyer Wellbeing. Mary served as the chair during her term on the BBO. Congratulations to Mary Strother. Jennifer Soule has spent her career speaking for victims and survivors of crimes, first at the Middlesex DA's office and now at the Northwestern DA's office. There, she established a centralized adult sexual assault unit and changed how cases were handled, building relationships with the police department and partnering with rape crisis centers, social service providers, local universities, and women's programs. I am very proud to have been able to play a small role in helping survivors of sexual assault come forward, have their cases heard in court, and obtain justice, Jennifer says. Congratulations to Jennifer Soule. Michelle Tassinari is the Director and Legal Counsel of the Elections Division of the Secretary of State's office. When she began working there more than 20 years ago, she never expected to become an expert on cybersecurity or how to administer elections safely and securely during a pandemic. Since March, the implications of COVID-19 on the administration of elections has been an all-consuming affair, Michelle says. President-elect of the National Association of State Election Directors, Michelle is the state appointee to the Election Assistance Commission Standards Board. Congratulations to Michelle Tassinari. Natasha Thomas's legal career has been shaped by her identity as a woman of color and the daughter of Haitian immigrants. Seeing her parents' struggles at work, she saw law school as a way to fight her feelings of helplessness and vulnerability. Now Associate General Counsel at the Boston Retirement Board, she provides guidance on state employee benefit laws and ensures compliance by the board's benefit program. Chair of the Executive Board of the Fair Employment Project, she was appointed by Mayor Martin Walsh in 2017 to the Advisory Committee of the Living Wage Ordinance. Congratulations to Natasha Thomas. Kimberly West has experience as a prosecutor at every level, from county as an ADA to state, where she was the first minority woman chief of the Massachusetts Attorney General's Criminal Bureau, to federal as an AUSA, to international as a war crimes prosecutor for the UN in the former Yugoslavia. The latter was the professional accomplishment she is most proud of. When you work a case like that, you play a role in the history of a nation, she says. Being involved in the prosecution was incredibly significant. Congratulations to Kimberly West. Tamara Wolfson of Anderson and Krieger litigates commercial cases and represents insurers and insureds in complex coverage and bad faith litigation. She discovered a niche as a young associate when one of the first cases she worked on involved a complicated dispute over environmental claims. Tamara has an active pro bono practice, serving as a member of the Volunteer Lawyers Project Board for more than 20 years. She's a fellow of the American College of Coverage Counsel and helped to launch Boston Women in the Insurance Coverage, which brings together women attorneys working in the field. Congratulations to Tamara Wolfson. Henriette, the podium is yours.
Our final Circle of Excellence honoree is Lisa Tittlemore of Sunstein. Lisa found her passion in IP litigation. It is a field that deals with cutting-edge, interesting technology that is facing challenging issues, and it allows me to come up with creative solutions, she says. Lisa chairs the litigation practice group at her firm and serves on the executive committee. She's the former president of the Massachusetts chapter of the Federal Bar Association and currently serves on the BBA Law Firm Leadership Forum. Outside of work, she provides pro bono representation to artists and related organizations, including Goodweave, which aims to end child labor in the carpet industry. When we sat down with Lisa last month, we asked her, what's the top challenge facing women in the law today?
I think that for women in the law, it's the top challenge that we're facing is probably a challenge that we've been facing for a really long time. And we've made a lot of progress. This year is the 100th anniversary of the women's right to vote. And while 100 years might seem like a long time, on the other hand, maybe it's like great-grandmothers. So it's not that long ago that we didn't even have the right to vote. And I actually have a book that belonged to my great-grandmother, who was the wife of a farmer in Vermont. I don't know how she came to have this book, but it's called What Can a Woman Do? And it's from the late 1800s. And it says that one of the things a woman can do is to be a lawyer. And it says at the beginning of that chapter that there were then 96 practicing lawyers who were women in the United States. And so we've certainly made progress. But I think that the challenge that we face is that people have a certain image of who the lawyer is from TV, from society, who that person is in the courtroom, in the boardroom, and they often don't picture women. And that has nothing to do with the ability of the lawyer. It has nothing to do with their education, their experience, their training. It just has to do with what people envision a lawyer to look like.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nicole Forbes, president of the Women's Bar Association of Massachusetts. We are thrilled to be joining you all tonight and celebrating the achievements of so many exceptional and accomplished women lawyers. We know how important it is to have a strong community of women lawyers who make a difference in the profession and in society, that a strong community of women lawyers is essential to the administration of justice and that representation matters. Congratulations from the Women's Bar Association to all of the honorees tonight, and thank you all for your contributions to our profession.
I just wanted to congratulate you on being named Top Women in Law and say thank you. Thank you for all that you do in communities. Thank you for your mentorship and volunteering, for the important pro bono work that you do. Congratulations once again on this impressive distinction. You've earned it.
Congratulations to all of our honorees. Thank you again to our sponsors, the Massachusetts Bar Association, Choate Hall and Stewart, Nutter, Mintz Levin, Morrison Mahoney, Peabody and Arnold, Ropes and Gray, the Women's Bar Association, Anderson and Krieger, Ashcroft Law Firm, Burns and Levinson, Morse, Murphy and King, McLean Middleton, Pierce Atwood, Robinson and Cole, Sunstein, and the EMK Consulting Group. Thank you to my co-host for tonight's program, Henriette Campaign, and I certainly hope I don't have to wait 8 months to see you again. Thank you to our attendees for celebrating their colleagues in the YouTube chat, and thank you to all of you for supporting Lawyers Weekly in a challenging year and helping us to recognize these terrific women. Stay well, and we will see you soon.